And I just remember thinking, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing here?
Something you said in a conversation which really kind of resonated with me, and I think will resonate with a lot of people. It's like what you did afterwards. It's kind of like you went into a period of almost like a wilderness period of not knowing who you were anymore. And the reason it really resonated with me is that in 2012, after 16 years of building a company, I was fired from the company that I was part responsible for building. And it had been my whole life. I'd sacrificed time from my children. I'd traveled around the world. I'd lived in 10 countries, all this kind of stuff, all for the building of this company. And I was on gardening leave for a year, which meant I was paid a salary for a year not to go to work, which when I agreed to it, I thought was a good idea, but it was the most horrific thing possible. And I went into this real dark space of not knowing who I was anymore, and not knowing what I stood for anymore, and not knowing what my value was, and I just thought nobody cared and nobody was interested in me anymore. And so when you explained that, and I don't know where it was you did, that what you explained took me straight to that place. So can you tell me what it was like for you?
It was really difficult because obviously we had 5 amazing years with Atomic Kitten, but then I had my son and I suffered really bad postnatal depression. And I just got to a point where no one was willing to give me time off to heal, to get better, to go and have treatment, whatever it was I needed to do. It was like, well, no, like the show must go on. And I, at the tender age of 21, said, I'm not going to do this anymore because I don't want my son seeing his mum cry every day, because that's what I was doing. I mean, he was only a baby at the time, but I was like, I don't want to affect him. So I left the band at the height of our career, and my decision impacted greatly on everyone else around me. So everyone was like kind of out of a job from my decision, which I understand is tough cookie, like it's tough bitter pill to swallow, but I wasn't well. No one was willing to give me, a year out. So I kind of did that. And as I walked away, everyone else walked the other way. And this family that I'd accumulated over 5 years, all of a sudden weren't there. And I was like, from the age of 16 to 21, being told where to go, how to look, like literally my life was run by other people. And then I'm sat in my house with a baby with like no friends who've got children, thinking, how do I integrate into the real world?
Lonely?
Very lonely, yeah. I mean, I had my children and that was lovely. And I had my family, like, thank God, because they've always been like my rock. But I just had no sense of purpose. Yes, my purpose was to be a mum, right?
It's like saying I wasn't alone, but I was lonely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just felt really lost.
And did you seek help, or did you just kind of like literally try and figure it out yourself?
So through the years, I've done lots of different things. I've been in and out of depression, anxiety. I've done counselling. I've done lots of different things to try and figure out who I am, where I need to go, what I want from my future. And it's literally been a 15-year journey. It's not been a quick fix. I've had to work so hard. And especially, I'd say the last 2 years is where I've kind of come into my own. And that coincided with me cutting ties with my management, who I'm still like, she's one of my best friends. I love her dearly. But I was like, I still felt like a baby in reins. It was like, has anyone phoned? Do I have a job? Does anyone want me? And I was starting to do the jobs that was just really ridiculous, because you have to become relevant. You have to stay, in the public eye. And I was taking on jobs thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like I went into Big Brother.
Give me an example, like opening a supermarket.
I went into Big Brother. That was that was for the money. I've done like really bizarre photo shoots, like one was Nicorette's, like Nicorette patches, like they were doing a campaign, and I'd stopped smoking, and I'd said, "Oh yeah, I don't smoke anymore." And they're like, "Oh well, we'd like you to like be the ambassador for the next campaign." And I was like, "Yeah, sure," thinking, you know, it'd be a few radio interviews and whatnot. So I'm on this like bed and covered strategically in like Nicorette patches. And I just remember thinking, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing here? Just, you know, random things. And you're just like, it's soul destroying. I'm not even singing. I'm not even on stage doing what I want to do. I'm doing these other things. And don't get me wrong, that, you know, they paid my bills. That was the main reason. It's like, it pays my bills. And, you know, when you kind of living like that, you get depressed. You don't want to just live to pay your bills. You want to be passionate in a career that you love and that motivates you and like really inspires you and gives you that burning desire in your stomach. And I didn't have that for such a long time.
When you did stuff like Big Brother, you know, you did it for the money, but were there any positives that came from that experience?
Yeah, 4 weeks away from my ex.
So hopefully you enjoyed that episode. Natasha's lovely, isn't she? I love talking to people that are just open and honest and frank about their lives. No airs, no graces, no ego, no arrogance. If you enjoyed this episode, then do me a favor and click over here where you can see more episodes of the podcast. And guess what? If you click over there, you can subscribe. And if you subscribe, I'd be really happy. You'd be doing me a favor. More people would see this content. And guess what? More people would enjoy the experience just like you.